you seen this video right now, this video is meant for you, so I need you to stick to the end just so you can hear what I have to say. Listen, you guys, this past year I have been focusing on all the things that I wanted to manifest, everything that I was basically being intentional about. I have been putting the effort forward to making it happen. So I'm just here to tell you right now, is there anything that you can see, smell, taste, touch, grab, you can have, literally. And it all starts with just making a decision. You're literally one decision away from changing your life, living your best life, giving yourself the best circumstances and outcome possible. But you just have to make the decision right now. A lot of times, y'all, we procrastinate on the things that we need to do because we rather do the things that are much easier. And sometimes life just tells you, no, I need you to do the hard first. If you want to live an easy life, you got to do the hard first. And y'all, these past couple of months, I have been doing the hard, the things that require me to consistently show up, to consistently be proactive, and continuously make and take massive action. So I just been really getting into that for real. So I feel like with that, seeing the vision, believing in the vision, constantly reminding myself and giving myself these small goals to reach, but also these bigger goals that I'm trying to attain, has really put me in the mindset of like, it can be done. And the reason why I believe it can be done, because we have peers and things that we physically see every single day that shows us that the lifestyle that we want to live, wherever that is for you, whether it's modest or over the top, however, it is attainable to all of us. And it just really boils down to, who do I have to become to be the person that I'm envisioning? See, and every day I have been waking up, literally taking one thing about myself and the things that I want to happen and internalizing, what would I do to be this person? What would I say? How would I act? How would I move? How would I execute, y'all? And every single day I can literally see that these small adjustments that not only have I taken for myself, but these decisions that I made have came into fruition in other parts of my life of what I really wanted. And I'm not backing down from the ultimate end goal, because yes, it's going to take time to get there, but it's like, would you rather do the day one now or still be at day one later? And I'm not trying to be at day one later, y'all. I'm trying to get exactly what I desire and what I deserve, and you deserve the same thing too. But it literally, everything starts within, because so within is without. And I had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, and it's so true, because it's really what you think in your mind. Everything in this life that you may or may not believe is all about your mindset. And the moment that you decide and you say, I'm going to do a mindset shift, and I'm no longer going to believe those limiting beliefs or those things that I said about myself, and I'm going to change, and I'm going to redirect those things into positive thoughts and positive ways of thinking, and even saying even more positive things about myself, your life will drastically change. Sometimes it's harder for others, because it's when you're so used to negativity, when you're so used to things going bad for you, in your mind it's like, how can I see the good out of any of this? But the moment that you really amp up and change that thought, change what's going to happen for you, it will change. Like for me, I just say, you know what? Good things are always supposed to happen to me. And even when bad things do happen to you, it's happening for you and not to you. Because how many times have you been in a bad situation and in that moment you're like, man, this seems pretty bad. And then later on down the road, that situation happened at the right time to redirect you into the right room or the right place or the right job. So sometimes it could be as simple as getting fired from a job that you knew that you needed to quit in order for you to be that entrepreneur. But you knew you couldn't quit. You didn't have the balls to quit. You didn't have the energy desire because you felt like you needed that job. And guess what? Eventually that job ended up firing you. And what did that cause you to do? It caused you to be the person that you needed to be, to say, you know what, even though I got fired, here's my opportunity to become the entrepreneur that I want to become. Here's the opportunity for me to take the risk and do all the things that I said I want to do when I had that job. But because I was anchored by that job, I did not do it. I did not take the risk. I did not take the chance and bet on myself. So with that being said, everything, whether you know it, is about identity first. It's all about your identity. It's all about how you see yourself, how you depict yourself, how you carry yourself. And some people would say that you may be putting on a facade. No, that's not true. It's just your boundaries, your limits, and what you believe in sometimes don't align with the people that are out of alignment with you. So that's how I was feeling at one point in time. And it took for me to just go back into time to realize I've always been this person. But I allowed so many other people to come into my space and change my belief system about what I already had believed prior to all these opinions and any other things that was just outside of what I already believed in. And granted, y'all, it didn't take for me, this is going to be crazy for me to even say it, but it took for me to cut my locks off for me to realize this is who I've always been. And it had nothing to do necessarily with the hair. It's the fact that when I first initially cut my hair back in 2009, it did a lot for me. And when I say that, because it takes a lot for you to wake up one day and say, you know what, I want to go bald, or I just want to get, it takes a lot of confidence, and it takes a decision that you have to be okay with yourself, because you walk out that door, there's somebody that's going to judge you, look at you crazy, look at you weird, look at you all like somebody. But in that moment, because you believe who you are and you're in tune with your star player, the opinions, the thoughts, they don't even matter. And the reason why it took for me to re-enter that stage of my life and be there currently is because I remember what it was like when I wasn't worried about opinions, how people felt about it. I was only worried about what I had going on and how I felt about myself. So reliving that era right now in 2026, I'm back in my prime again. Nobody can tell me nothing, because you know what? The person I was when I had this right here, this haircut, and the person I am today, oh no. Can't nobody push me out of what I believe in myself. I cut my hair again, I felt it all over again. This belief system, what I believed about myself was always true. I just allowed people to get into my head and my space and change the thoughts that I was having. But then I locked back in with me. I separated myself from certain things and people that didn't have the same belief system or didn't see the things, and I locked back in with me. You gotta ask yourself, who would you be right now today if you had the $1 million car, the houses, the whips, whatever it is that you want for yours? Who would you be? How would you act? Where would you go? What would you eat? What would you drink? Who is that person? And y'all, I'm not even gonna lie. Since I've asked myself those questions, I literally been taking every day, every step to get back to that person, which I'm right here, right now. But I had to ask myself those questions. Who would I be if I had everything that I can think of? And guess what? Every moment since then, I've been making decisions as the person that I am and who I have always known to be. So if there's something about you right now that you just can't say, and I'm trying to change, I'm trying to fix something, I'm trying to glow up. Sometimes it will take, don't take my word for this, but sometimes it'll take alter ego. You see how, Batman and Robin or Superman, they have two parts in them. Spider-Man and I can't even think of his name, Peter Parker. So you have Peter Parker and Spider-Man. We know Peter Parker is this corny, I don't even want to say corny because I think it's cool, but he has this nerdy, wear the glasses, nobody cares for him, he's clumsy, he's just whatever. But Spider-Man, you can't tell Spider-Man nothing. Spider-Man is that dude. Spider-Man out here saving the world, fighting crime, doing these. Spider-Man is, but that's what it boils down to. How do you separate yourself from Peter Parker to wanting to be Spider-Man? And I know this is a crazy analogy, but it's so true. Every character or every person that you in this world, they have some form of an alter ego that they can separate from this to that. Now, I'm not saying just completely separate yourself from your original identity, but sometimes it takes to separate this because you want that. And I had to say to myself, I know who I am as Amber, but I also know who I once was as the other version of myself. So we are very much capable of being all that we can be, do all that we can, and have all that we want to have. But it just comes down to a simple question. What are you going to do? Who are you going to become to be that person? And every day, y'all, I promise you, it's like waking up and I'm creating this identity that was always there, but I'm sharpening the pencil even more and more, and I'm falling in love with that process. And you should do the same. If this is what you want, whether it's the lifestyle, whether it's the dream life, whether it's the vacations, or to work for yourself, or just to have the life that you have always envisioned, you have to sit down and write it on paper. Who would I be? How would I look? Where would I go? These things are so important. Once I started asking myself that, it gave me clarity. It gave me so much clarity on how to think, how to talk, how to walk. What do I do? Who gets my time? What am I entertaining? What am I not entertaining? This is important. So, man, that's kind of what's been on my mind and what I've been literally working on. So, I've been working on being the best and highest version of myself from, I can't even explain it, y'all. I just been working. That's the best thing that I could say. I really just see myself within the next 2 to 3 months even blown away. When I come back and see my video, I'm gonna just be blown away because I'm already living in the mindset of the vision that I've already envisioned myself in. How I act, what I wear, where I go, what I drive. I'm already, some people would like to call it delusional. I don't even think it's delusional. It says the fact that I choose to believe that this is possible for me. And we all have choices, so you have to choose what you also believe is what's possible and tangible for you. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But you gotta ask yourself, if it came down to you believing this or that, believing your doubts or your fears, why wouldn't you try to believe something that is more exciting, more thrilling? I choose to believe this for myself. Nobody else gotta believe it but you. Granted, we want family, friends, we want all that. But it all boils down to what you believe, what you think, how you feel, what you tell yourself internally. It's getting to the point where I say to myself, yes, the words that we speak about ourselves and our lives is so much powerful, and you have to guard that with all your might to say, I choose not to speak negative about myself, my life, my situation, my circumstances, and everything that I touch turns into gold. That's what I literally tell myself every single day. Everything that I touch, everything that I put my mind to, anything that I put my interest, it turns into gold. And that's just my story, and I'm sticking in. You should do the same, twin. You should do the same. I'm really hyped up. I'm feeling like that right now. I don't know. This is just how I feel. And I feel like once you get a hold and you anchor in on your mindsets, that identity shift is something serious. That just living in your identity, your truth, and unapologetically doing so, it hits different. Because, like I said, there's so many people that's been around me that made me feel like how I walk, talk, act, and think and feel about myself, I was just too much. But then I come to realize, you too much. You ain't thinking too much. You thinking small. You need to be thinking big. And sometimes people would do you like that because they don't see as big as you do. So they be thinking small and you be, and it be too much for them. And it's okay. That's why you got to get around people that just think as big as you or even bigger than you. So that's why I've been very protective about what I'm around, what I'm doing, and who I'm talking to, because I only want to affiliate myself with people who think just as big as I do, if not bigger. I don't want to be thinking and be around people that's not thinking the same way that I'm thinking, because that's how people infiltrate your belief system and your mindset. So I really made this video just to let y'all know that anything is possible, and life will reward you for just taking action and just believing. Life will give you all the things that you are seeking, but you gotta understand it starts with you, and it starts internally. So the more work you do internally, the more work you get outside externally, and like the more life will just be so blissful. So that's enough of that. Y'all like this video, y'all subscribe to the channel, and I'm out.